When it comes to daily drivability, a 24-year-old car, such as this 3rd Gen 4Runner, and a brand new Lexus, or like my Camry, are going to be judged pretty differently. So let's go over that. I can confidently say that the 3rd Gen Toyota 4Runner is a pretty good daily driver for most people. There are a few little things that might make you change your mind if you're thinking of buying it. So stay tuned for that. I also want to make it clear real quick that the Toyota 4Runner's off-road capabilities are not going to be questioned today because it is really good at off-roading. We're going to make another video on that, so stay tuned for that video. But for now, we're just going to go over how good it is for daily driving. One of the main reasons for most people to get an SUV is the space, and the Toyota 4Runner does not disappoint in that. So we're going to start from front to back when it comes to space. The trunk is actually very spacious. Now, as you can see, there is a wheel behind me. That's because when you daily drive a car, odds are you could get a flat. That is one problem with the 4Runner when it comes to daily drivability, is that the spare is under the car, and that's not new to a lot of people. It's a fairly common thing on SUVs, especially old ones like this, if it doesn't come like on the rear hatch. But this one has a particular tool that needs to go through here to take it out. This car did not come with that tool, so we had to jerry-rig a tool to be able to get the tire off. Now that's a little bit inconvenient, especially when it comes to putting it back on, because you also need the tool to get it back on. So that's just one thing to keep in mind when thinking of purchasing this as a daily driver. But other than that, there is plenty of trunk space, and you can put those seats down so that you can get even more space. So for any regular use that you'd have for an SUV, this can get it done for you. When it comes to steering, this bad boy needs an alignment pretty badly. So yeah, you guys can attack me in the comments for being a bad car owner for not taking care of that part of it. But that being said, yeah, the steering is actually not bad either. It's fairly responsive. A tiny bit of understeer, but it's not bad at all. And every single 4Runner is going to be a little bit different when it's been driven for 270,000 miles, you know what I'm saying? So like, this isn't, like I said earlier, a comparison of a brand new car to another brand new car that you're going to be getting, or even one that's low mileage relatively. This is an extremely high mileage car that's been treated differently by a bunch of different owners. So that's just an idea though, that the steering and the driving is gonna be pretty smooth, honestly. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, Devi, what if with my 4Runner that I'm daily driving, I need to tow something? Well, good news is that this bad boy has a 5,000 pound towing capacity because it has a 3.6 liter V6 under the hood. It only produces 183 horsepower, but it's from 2001, so you probably didn't expect much more than that. Another one of the main things that you're gonna look for when looking for a daily driver is MPG. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this car is pretty dismal in that category. I get maybe, if I'm lucky, 12, 13 miles per gallon on this, and it's not a massive engine. It's like I've said already, it's a 3.6 liter V6, so it's not small, but it's not massive, and it does not produce that much power. But I mean, yeah, so that's the big one. If you are looking for a gas saver, do not get this car. I did just get new tires on this, and it rides pretty smooth. The suspension is pretty smooth. Even when you're off-roading, it's pretty smooth. So if you're just doing daily driving off-roading, then it's whatever. It's not too bad. And obviously, and honestly, with actual off-roading, it's also not bad at all. But like I said, that's gonna be for another video, so stay tuned for that. As promised, let's take a quick look at the back seats. I'll be honest, in my 23 years of life, I have seen bigger back seats, but they're not that small. They're easily doable if you want to take a little trip to the beach with some friends, or if you're trying to do some tiny little road trip. I think anything more than 3 or 4 hours might get slightly uncomfortable in here, but still bigger than a sedan, so it's not horrible. There is a fair amount of rattling going on in this car. It's 23 years old. Like, I mean, I don't know what you would expect. It runs good, and there's a little bit of rattling. Transmission rattles a little bit, and I know I need to get that checked up. Some body parts rattle. It was in an accident. This is a salvage title vehicle, and so there are parts of it that rattle quite a bit, but man, not bad at all. Sound system, for being 23 years old, I've seen worse, I'll say, but I've definitely seen better, heard better, and heard worse, I guess. So yeah, I mean, it'll get the job done for whatever drives. The bass is a little rattly because it's so old, but I honestly am not too disappointed with it. So overall, for a car that is 23 years old, that has 270,000 miles on it, it's honestly not that bad. It has barely given me any issues. I've been daily driving it for a few weeks now, and honestly, yeah, the issues that it's given me are, you know, the MPG, like I mentioned in the video, and then also the transmission and stuff like that, little issues that are there, but it has 270,000 miles, and you're not going to be paying an arm and a leg to buy a car like this unless you get like one that's souped up like crazy. But why would you do that? Just buy one and then soup it up yourself as you go if you want to do that. So yeah, not a bad car at all. So the goal with the 4Runner is to make it into some cool little like off-road machine. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to stay tuned with all that. So yeah, comment on what you want me to do to it. I'm sure there are lots of people watching this that are 4Runner enthusiasts that have really good ideas of what I could do to it. So make sure you guys especially subscribe to stay tuned with what I'm about to do with the 4Runner. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.